Within 4 months of the Peterloo Massacre, a series of laws were rushed through Parliament, designed to avert the threat of revolution. These new laws came to be known as the Six Acts. The Acts clamped down on people's ability to meet and spread ideas about parliamentary reform, while also expanding the state's power to criminalise dissent. The Seditious Meetings Act enforced tighter restrictions on organising and attending mass meetings. Meetings of over 50 persons were subsequently banned, unless special permission was sought from the local authorities. If any person shall knowingly and wilfully attend any meeting, shall be liable to be punished by fine and imprisonment, not exceeding 12 calendar months. This meant that anyone attending a mass meeting that was not approved could be imprisoned for up to a year. The Act also banned flags at meetings. Those convicted of being at a meeting with any flag, banner or ensign, or displaying or exhibiting any device, badge or emblem, could be imprisoned for up to 2 years. The Training Prevention Act made it illegal to attend a meeting in order to receive weapons training, carrying a penalty of 2 years imprisonment or 7 years transportation. The Seizure of Arms Act extended the powers of local magistrates, allowing them to enter private property for the purpose of seizing weapons and arresting the owners. Convicting an accused criminal was made quicker with the Misdemeanours Act by minimising opportunities for bail. The accused only had 4 days to delay pleading or demurring at the King's Bench in Westminster or Dublin. 2 acts were designed to prevent the spread of seditious ideas. Prior to 1819, radical newspapers were able to avoid paying some taxes by publishing opinion and not news. This was ended by the Newspaper and Stamp Duties Act, which added taxes to these publications, forcing their prices up, meaning less people could afford them. Many papers were driven out of business. And finally, the Blasphemous and Seditious Libels Act imposed harsher punishments on those accused of publishing libel. A second offence could have the guilty transported for up to 14 years. Banning flags, restricting meetings, and suppressing newspapers were oppressive acts, but in comparison to other regimes in Europe, they were limited. The Seditious Meetings Act had a built-in time limit, automatically repealing itself after 5 years. The Seizure of Arms Act was also temporary, set to last just over 2 years. In 1830, the sentence of banishment was repealed from the Blasphemous and Seditious Libel Act. The 4-penny stamp on the Newspaper and Stamp Duties Act was reduced to a penny in 1836, before all taxes on newspapers, sometimes called the taxes on knowledge, were completely repealed in the 1850s and 60s. And finally, the Training Prevention Act was the last to be repealed in 2008, although it had been amended on 3 different occasions, and is actually still in force in Northern Ireland. While the 6 acts were mostly ineffective and rarely implemented, they mark an increase in state suppression of radicalism after Peterloo.